You have used AI today, and you may not have even known it. That thing that finished your sentence when you were texting? The reason Netflix knew exactly what you wanted to watch on a Friday night. The voice that told you to turn left. AI is already in your life, but do you have any idea of how it actually works? How did it get smart enough to know what you wanted before you did? I mean, basically, how do they get started? How are they made? A lot of AI goes through the same basic training, of course in different levels of complexity. But I'm going to break it down so you understand how it all gets started. You ready? Let's get into it. First up, we have the ingestion phase. Now, to understand how AI gets formed, let's start with something familiar. Reading to your kids. When your kids were young, you read to them, or at least someone did. Kind of the same with AI. During the ingestion phase, an AI system will read things like Cat in the Hat, Goodnight Moon, Superhero Max, and then a billion other things, including the complete works of Shakespeare, the Magna Carta, various encyclopedias, every Wikipedia article ever written, Sarah Silverman's book, whether she likes it or not, and more Reddit threads than anyone should probably admit to. And yes, it reads all of them. Every pattern, every idea. So after it ingests a huge amount of data, the AI stops reading and starts looking for patterns, not memorizing, recognizing. And again, that's kind of the same way that kids learn. They learned what words look like, what sentences feel like, and they can predict what comes next. AI does the same thing, just at a scale that's a bit mind-boggling. Okay, now next up comes the pre-training phase. Now this is where it gets interesting, because reading everything is one thing, having it make sense is another. So for this stage, it's kind of like going on Match Game, and Gene Rayburn says, "The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy blank." And our dear friend Betty White was an animal lover, and she also wasn't stupid, so you know she's going to say dog. AI training kind of works the same way. The system gets shown incomplete sentences, like billions of them, and it has to guess what comes next. Now, when the AI gets it right, it is told that is correct, and it will remember that. So then later, when someone asks, "What jumps over lazy dogs?" the AI can reply, "A fox." And of course, you multiply that by 1 trillion words, and you're starting to get somewhere. That's the AI learning what goes with what follows what makes sense together, not because it understands, but because it's seen the pattern 1 trillion times. Now next comes the model tuning phase. Let's say this is like Mad Libs, but instead of just saying fart or farting like your friend always did, it actually tries to get it right. So if the subject is fishing and you need a noun, an AI might say pole or boat or water. Okay, now stay with me here for just a second, because this next part is a thing that most people never hear about, but once you get it, you're going to see it everywhere. During this whole process, the AI is building what are called weights. Think of it like a spider web where some threads are thicker and heavier than others. Every connection between words, ideas, and concepts has a weight. Some are turned way up, some are dialed way down, based on everything it's read and learned. Okay, now here's why that matters. Let's say you ask AI, what's 2 plus 2? Simple enough question. The answer is always going to be 4, but how it answers depends entirely on how you asked. So for this example, let's say there are 2 weights. One is called formal, the other is called casual. And if you were to type in, hello there, my good man. A query for you, if it's not too much of a fuss. What is 2 plus 2? Thank you, old chap. Now imagine a ping pong ball is going to roll down the web, and the heavier threads are going to pull it toward the formal response. And so your LLM might say, "Oh, not to worry, good sir, not a problem at all. The sum would be 4. Yes, 4. Quite right. No need to fuss. Cheerio." But now, if you were to say, "Hey man, I am bummed. I got this math thing I gotta solve. Dude, what's 2 plus 2? Bro, help me out." Okay, same ping pong ball with the number 4, different direction. The casual weights are heavier now, and you might get, "Dude, chill, I got you. It's 4, man. It's just 4. All good. Relax, my bro." The answer is always 4, but the delivery changes based on which weights are heaviest. Now again, you multiply that one interaction by 1 billion. This is how an LLM is able to read the room, so to speak, and will usually match your tone and energy. You actually do this hundreds of times a day yourself without even realizing it. Saying hi to grandma, versus saying hi to your friend versus saying hi to your boss. They all get a friendly greeting, just completely different words. Same information, same attitude, different weights on how you deliver it. You've been doing weighted language modeling your whole life. It just didn't have a name until now. I thought that was interesting and I wanted to throw it in there. So anyway, let's get back to how it learns and what it turns into once it's done. So after model tuning comes transfer learning. This is the fine-tuning stage. I mean, just because your child can repeat Junie B. Jones doesn't mean you want them talking like her. This is where the AI gets shaped into something specific and useful. And these different phases can greatly determine what kind of AI you end up with, from medical to legal to simulated girlfriends. They're all quite different. Okay, moving on. And oh, by the way, just so you know, it's not just words. AI-generated video works the same way, but instead of reading, it watches. It watches tens of thousands of hours of video. And when it's asked to make a video, there's a human alongside it guiding what comes out, saying, yes, that is correct, or no, the guy with 6 fingers is incorrect. The AI adjusts. It doesn't make that mistake again, and the quality is only getting better and better, faster than most people realize. Oh, and by the way, if you can make these 2 gestures, you can be a video producer. That and kicking the back of the editor's chair saying, make it better. That's pretty much all they do. Anyway, now before we get to the fun part, let's make a distinction. It's kind of important. And that's the difference between narrow AI and AGI, or artificial general intelligence. Narrow AI is like Dustin Hoffman from the movie Rain Man, really good at one specific thing, like counting toothpicks or memorizing phone books. This is the kind of AI that could beat you at blackjack, but it might be wearing 2 different colored socks. Versus artificial general intelligence, AGI. This is more like Leonardo da Vinci, able to excel across a wide range of fields from art to science to philosophy. It's the difference between being really good at one thing versus being able to learn and adapt and create in any domain. Okay, big difference between those two. All right, now in a minute, I'm going to show you where your Roomba fits on the same scale as Data from Star Trek. So this is kind of a fun way to put things in perspective. We'll start at the very beginning. We'll start with Roomba. It may not be able to philosophize about the nature of existence, but doggone it if it doesn't keep your floors clean. Okay, then we'll put Wally. Next we'll put Kit from Knight Rider. These 2 are like high-tech versions of Thelma and Louise if Thelma had a questionable German pop music career and a deep love for cheeseburgers. Okay, next we'll put Siri and Alexa. They've actually gotten a lot more capable recently. Real conversations, real answers, not just timers and weather. They're still assistants, but they're much smarter than they used to be. And then you've got your main 4. Gemini from Google, ChatGPT from OpenAI, Claude from Anthropic, and Grok from xAI. These are full LLMs, remarkably capable, very useful, and still essentially very sophisticated pattern predictors. They're not sentient, they're not self-aware, just very good at what they do. I'll go into these 4 in depth a little later. Now, next up is Samantha from the movie Her, and then Jarvis from Iron Man, and then the Tesla robot, which looks pretty cool already and is still getting better and better. Then we'll put Sunny from iRobot, then Ava from Ex Machina. She would pass the Turing test with flying rainbow colors. And then we'll put the replicants from Blade Runner, and then finally, Data from Star Trek, who has artificial general intelligence with human level and beyond reasoning, learning, creativity, and even aspirations of understanding the human condition. So there you have it. The age of the digital assistant is pretty much already here. It's already in your phone, your car, your doctor's office, and your kid's bedroom. The question isn't whether you'll use one, you already are. The question is, how will you use it? AI is a system that learned from everything humans have ever written, found the patterns, built the connections, and can now have conversations with you. Formal or casual, fishing or philosophy, simple or complex. It doesn't get annoyed, it doesn't take a day off, and it'll rewrite something 10 times if you ask it to without complaining. So if you want to go deeper on these specific tools, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, all of them, what makes each one different and where they're useful, I've got a whole episode on that, and it's coming up next. And if you want to know what happens when things go wrong, hallucinations, deepfakes, Well, that's me, by the way, and I've never given a speech at the White House. Voice cloning scams, and yes, the question of what happens when they start making decisions on their own that you didn't ask them to make. Gonna have a whole episode on that one too. That one gets interesting. Now, if you enjoyed what I did here, how about a like and a subscribe? It genuinely helps. It's just me here making all these things, so every one of those truly means something, and I deeply appreciate it. And as always, now you get it.